And what's the mission? It's to save this incredible historic building in a small Midwestern town where I grew up in its shadow. It's been a true cornerstone in the lives of Charleston residents since it was built all the way back in 1919. Now I'm taking on the daunting challenge of safeguarding all 70,000 square feet of this iconic structure. I'm not loaded with cash. I'm not a restoration expert or experienced at all for that matter. But what I do have is relentless determination, boundless willpower, and a genuine thirst for knowledge. So join me, we'll learn, adapt, and fight to protect this vital piece of American history together.
Buster Brown shoes.
Okay, so today's kind of a quirky day. Lots of little things that I'm doing and lots of little projects, and so I thought I'd just bring you guys along with me. The first place that we're going is to the Public Works Department in Charleston, Illinois. So the local police department posted a notice on their Facebook page that they're doing an auction for a bucket truck, or a couple bucket trucks actually. And those are super high on my list, and I'm pretty sure they're out of my price range at the moment. But a fella can dream, so we're gonna go and check them out. And yeah, so I don't even want to make any statements about what I could bid or what I'll bid or if I'll bid. I haven't even seen them yet, so that's the first step. Let's go do that, and then I got a few other things that we're gonna be doing today. So all right, let's go check them out. Well, apparently Charleston, Illinois Public Works Department employs quite a few people. That's surprising, unless they're all here to look at the fork trucks. All right, let me see how I can get in this place. Never been here. So there's a sign that says no visitors beyond this point. Please call for assistance. So yeah, I don't know. The advertisement said stop in and check them out. All right. Oh, this thing is in rough shape. This is kind of the thing I need. I need something just to limp around the property and get up on the building. So this thing has been exploited, that's for sure. They said that the Ford, which is this one, needs a new fuel pump, and they're debating on whether to get a new fuel pump to make it more sellable and usable. So I don't see mileage. I guess the mileage is digital. Minimum bid of $500, and none of the information is legible here. This one's got a different story here. There's two of them that they're auctioning. It doesn't want to open. They said this one has a crack in the boom. So I'm going to see if I can find out what they're talking about. That is a 97, and that is a 2003, I believe. They said there's a crack in the boom, but that's just a gouge, not a crack. I'm not sure if that's what they're talking about, but I doubt it. There must be something else here. So, man, those tires are pretty bare. Yeah. Okay. It is what it is. Let's see. Playground ride. That's exactly what I need. Okay, so those things are fully exploited. They're in rough shape, but that's exactly what I'm looking for. So I need something to limp around the building and just help me get up and work on it. They said they have had some interest and some people have been coming by to look at them, so don't know about that. One of them did not pass inspection, and the other got a passed but kind of status. So they're moving them on. And he mentioned, I don't know if I said this before, he mentioned that they're thinking about the one that needs a fuel pump, putting the fuel pump in it just to make it more sellable. And for me, it'd be better if they just sold it as it is, and I could take it and get the fuel pump done. I don't know. So I was expecting like really nice ones that I wouldn't be able to bid on, but maybe I can bid on these. So, I mean, I can bid on them. Nothing's stopping me. So, okay. Yeah, I think I will put a bid in, and we'll just see what happens. I looked on Facebook yesterday before I'd even seen these, and I was kind of discouraged because to get one of those trucks, it's like anything less than 10,000 had like sketchy language about it. Like, well, it ran last year when I started it up, somebody told me the hydraulics are good on it, you know, those kind of things. And that kind of language is on all the bucket trucks on Marketplace. They're less than like, you know, $7,000 or something like that. So I get a super cheap deal. That's the reality. So this might work if I can win the bid. So yeah, we'll see. I don't know. It's not officially over until November 7th. They're going to do that. So there's quite a bit of time between now and then. So if anything comes of it, I'll let you guys know. Otherwise, I'll just keep looking, and I'll start putting a little savings account together for that, because a bucket truck is a non-negotiable. Non-negotiable. I have to have one. So a lot can be said for you know, doing the work and just, you know, not having the right tools, but just being willing to do the work without the tools. But there are some things that you just have to have the tools for. I cannot work on the second floor outside windows without a bucket truck. So yeah. Anyway, all right. Next thing, let's head back to the building. Okay, so here we're off. We're off on another field trip. Okay, so yeah, first thing in the morning. Okay, yeah, so good morning. Today we're doing just a little bit of a field trip, and by little bit I mean just a teeny tiny field trip, because we're literally only a few hundred yards away from the building. Someone reached out to me in the comments on one of the videos, and from what I could gather, they are an employee here at the Charleston local library. And their username was like a bunch of random digits, like XRJVD992. I don't know what it was, but it was something like that. And so I don't know who I'm asking for when I go in there. The reason I'm stopping by is because they mentioned that they have a lot of archival information, or access to it, I don't know if it's here or not, of the Buster Brown Shoe Company building, that's what the building was originally. And they have a bunch of information on the building from way back when it was built, including a journal of the first plant manager, which could be amazing, which could be really awesome. And it could potentially shed a lot of light on the building, and hopefully maybe even some photographs that would show me what different rooms were used for. So that's something I'm actually most interested in. So yeah, I don't know if I can film in the library or not, but yeah, if I can, I will. If not, I'll share the information that I get with you afterwards. All right, but let me go in. It must open at 10 in the morning, because it's just 10 right now and everybody's rushing up toward the door. So yeah. So I came like in my 20s, and they're like, we still have your record.
Oh God, what's your last name?
And it would be 40 years. So Martin.
M-A-R-T-I-N?
Yeah.
And your first name?
Chris.
Chris.
Yeah.
Let's see what comes up. Let's see. I'm not seeing one.
You have no record of me.
No
That isn't-
record of any fines or overdues or anything, so you can get a new card if you want.
Okay, because I came in my 20s, and you guys are like, no, You have a 15-year thing.
If it was overdue, see, we're now over, we don't have overdue fines anymore. So if it was overdues, they would have waived those and it would be off of there by now.
Oh, that's
So.
probably because all the information is free on Google, right?
All right.
Okay. Okay, so that was really cool because so when I walked up, the lady that was standing outside of the door said she recognized me instantly, and I thought, well, that must be the one who commented, but it wasn't. And I was actually a little bit terrified because I checked out a book when I was like 11 or 12 years old. If I recall, it was something about archaeology, and I came back in my 20s and they still had a record of it. And I told her that, and she started laughing. She said, we probably still got the record. But it turns out that I guess they don't have a record of that anymore. So she said, I'm eligible to get a new library card, which is awesome. So, and then she said that she had actually commented on the video. It's weird that two people here at the library know about that building, or the channel. She said that she commented on the recent video I did about the bicycle, and she commented that some of those bicycles have to be licensed here in town, and probably that's because it's like DUI central here. And a lot of people who have DUIs ride those bikes, and I think that probably applies to the motorized ones. I doubt it applies to the battery ones, but she said they call them liquor sickles. I just called them DUI mobiles, but you can hear those little gas-powered engines just screaming when they go by the building. So, okay, so back to the main point of the video. She said that probably the person that reached out was in the genealogy department, and they're here in the afternoons, and that makes sense because the genealogy department would be kind of maintaining the stuff that's like records and historical stuff here. So. That is pretty awesome. I left my information, and she said they're here every day, like around 1 p.m., except for Fridays. So hopefully they're going to give me a call back. And if they don't, I'm going to stay on them because I'm really excited to find out what they have. They said that I can scan things. I can take pictures with my iPhone. They have a printer available. So I'll be able to get a wealth of information, whatever they have. One of my absolute most favorite things is looking at old denim and old workwear.
Yeah.
Because my grandpa always had like a denim chore coat growing up. And I just fell in love with that old coat. And ever since then, I've been into the stuff that the guys used to wear when they were working. Anyway, I'm back to work at the building, and I'll make another little segment of this video as soon as I have some information to report. So, all right. Liquor cycles. Do you remember the ladies from the library? They have this scrapbook, which was from 1919-ish, of a gentleman who, I guess he ran a fishing cabin out on the Embraer River, which passes nearby here. And it's like this amazing scrapbook with photos and then writing all around where the photos are glued into the pages. And he's talking about what's biting, what's not biting, you know, fishing reports. But he also put in information about any major events that happened in the town. And the Brown Shoe Company is mentioned multiple times. And this book is gorgeous. It's really beautiful. So I don't know if he was a photographer as well. Definitely had an artist's heart and soul because it's a really cool old scrapbook. And they have scanned it and digitized it, and they told me that I could come back and get it on a drive. Well, I just got a text message that they found some freebie drives, and they've already copied it for me. So she works at the Roselawn Cemetery here in Charleston, and she said I could just stop in and pick it up. So that's where we're headed now. Okay, so here we are at the cemetery. We're actually less than a half a mile from the building. And little known fact, this is where both of my grandparents and my mom are. So I'm a regular visitor here, but I don't ever really stop into the office. So this is kind of a new one for me. So let me knock and see if she's still here. She said till 1 and it's 12:38, so.
One, and page 67 is like when they got the contract signed. So it's like how long the building is, how tall the building is, that kind of stuff.
Do you volunteer here or do you work here?
I work here.
Okay, but you
part-time.
volunteer at the...
I volunteer for the
So
genealogical
they,
society.
even though you work there, you're a volunteer, they need to give you a raise, that's for sure.
They can double my pay up there.
Double, yeah. Double zero. Oh my gosh.
But page 86 is the one that you saw the photo later as they're building it and as they're going through more things. And there may be others. I just flipped through.
And it's labeled 1919, which is amazing because
Yes,
there's a lot
every
of...
date in there is labeled.
There's a lot of disagreement about... Oh, let me get your face here. There's a lot of disagreement about when the building was... And I always say 1919, but some people say, no, that's not right. It was before that, but... That's a half-built building, and it's marked 1919, so we know.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, this has got some more detail in it, because, I mean, he went through the whole process.
Well, I just want to read the whole thing.
I know
it. Looks awesome. Have you read it all?
No, I have not.
Oh, my gosh.
That's why I took it home, so that I could put it on my computer, and but I haven't.
Okay. Well, that is so awesome. I cannot wait to read that. So, okay. Thank you. You are so kind.
Oh, my gosh. This is so much fun.
So, like I said, whoever is watching this video from the Charleston Public Library, you need to start paying that lady. Give her a raise and her team because they are so awesome. And especially her excitement is like infectious. So she's getting excited about it and I was getting excited about it. And yeah, that's totally awesome. That's what a library needs. They definitely need that. So. Okay, so I thought if it's okay with you guys, I would just stop by and say hi to my mom and grandparents. My grandpa, I think I've mentioned this before. My grandpa used to do business with the previous owner of the Brown Shoe Company who had a plumbing supply business there. And he was an old timer, so when he was born, they had outdoor plumbing and no electricity in the house. Look how far we've come since then. And he said that he had when he got older, they even had a car that he would get out and the wheels would go in the ruts and he just walked beside it while it drove home. So, and he did some train hopping and he had some amazing stories. Oh, wait a minute. Did I drive too far? Hold on. No, it's right here. And he was just endlessly fascinated by the buildings around, by the landscapes, even though Illinois is so flat. He was so in love with this area. It was his home his entire life. And it would give him pleasure to no end to know that I currently own that building, because we would walk by it and there was legends and stuff about the building that it was full of stuff, and we'd wonder what was inside. And yeah, so anyway, let's go say hi. Sam Wynn, that's my grandpa, and my grandma Maxine. Yeah, born 1921, 1926. And then my mom and my aunts are right here. And here's my stepdad, my mom's husband, who is still alive and kicking. You saw him driving his John Deere Gator around the factory. So, yeah, I love you guys. Man. All right, I'm gonna turn the camera off for just a minute. Oh, that's never easy, but I try to get here as much as I can. One thing that I was just thinking about was that over in Poland, because I spend so much time there, they don't really have Halloween, but the day before, on October 30th, I think, it's mostly a Catholic country, or like 99.9% Catholic, and the day before what we celebrate as Halloween, they all go to the cemetery. And then when I say they all go to the cemetery, they all go to the cemetery. Roads get shut down everywhere. If you're driving through small towns in Poland, traffic is horrible, and there's just like miles of people walking to the cemeteries, and they all light these candles for their family and loved ones, and the cemetery is just glowing with like thousands of candles, and those candles can burn for weeks at a time. And so for a long time after that day, you can visit any cemetery. And it's really interesting because, and I'll try to wrap this up because I'm driving. It's really interesting because they're really well taken care of, and they, people, when I go to the cemetery here, I almost never see any other cars. But it's a little bit different in Poland. So that being said, let me get to the building, and I have one other comment that's kind of weird and funny about cemeteries in Poland. Okay, so back on private property, I can talk on the phone while I'm pulling around here. So like in Illinois, at least, a gravesite is something you buy and you own, and yeah, it's like a one and done. You pay for it, and then you can be interred there, and then you're basically there in perpetuity. As a matter of fact, that ownership goes so far that when my mom passed, she was cremated. That's what she wanted. And so it was, her ashes were just in a small box. And they told us that we didn't have to buy another lot, that she could be interred with my grandparents. So there were basically no fees because my grandparents technically owned those spaces, those grave sites, which was incredible. So my aunt had something to do with that. Oh, that's what it was. My aunt had a space, and my mom and her passed pretty close in time, and they allowed both of them to be interred in the same place. And my stepdad, who's still living, they said that when he goes, he'll be able to be interred there as well. And then we didn't have to buy another spot. They allowed, additional functionality, use of that space, because it is owned by the person that buys it, which is incredible. In Poland, it's a little bit different. It's like leasing real estate. So you pay for a gravesite, and it's 25 years. And then you can re-up that if there's a living relative who cares enough to re-up the term for another 25 years. So if somebody's still alive that remembers you and cares enough to re-up you, or if you, I think maybe you can even pay double and have twice as long. I'm not sure about that, but it is for a definite period of time, a fixed period of time, and then they will remove the gravestone and they'll inter someone else there. So I have no idea what happens if there still remains after 25 years. But yeah, so that's kind of weird actually to think about. But when you really think about it, you've moved on anyway, so what do you care, right? So, okay. On to happier things. Let's continue with our quirky day of like different jobs. So, all right. Okay, so I'm tempted to do a little weed eating because, that's irritating. Just see that little patch right around those gopher holes. But I can't stand the thought of cleaning off their front porch. That's the least they could do, right? Every time I come here, these gopher holes get bigger. I mean, good grief. And they're everywhere. So the good thing is I kind of know where they're at. Otherwise, it could be a major catastrophe hitting these with the lawnmower. So this entire hillside is full of those gopher holes, and they're all under the building. I think they've got a gopher city under there. So yeah. Okay, so I'm tempted to do a little weed eating because, you know, that's irritating. Just see that little patch right around those gopher holes. But I can't stand the thought of cleaning off their front porch. That's the least they could do, right?